Game time. Let's go.
Okay guys, so today in the garage we're actually going to be putting on a new downpipe for the car, but we're going to do it outside because the weather is fantastic today. I wasn't planning on doing it this early, but I got the downpipe and I got some free time and it's nice out, so we're going to put it on. The downpipe we're going to be using is a SRS. The car already had, when I bought it, the catback. After a little research, I found that the SRS downpipe wasn't too bad, so, and it's really cheap as far as anything else on the market. So there she is, and we're going to be putting it on. So we're going to start by taking off the heat shield off of the turbo, and it is still hot. I actually just got home. So it's still kind of warm, but there's a couple bolts you'll need to take out. There's one down there, a couple more, one on the back side over here. I think there's 7 in all, but I'll give you an exact count once we get them off. Unfortunately, I still don't have a cameraman or a tripod, so we're going to be setting you on the picnic table while Bradley runs around and plays, and hopefully we'll be able to give you enough info to do it yourself. Alright. Okay, so those are 10 millimeters on that heat shield, so that's what you're gonna need. I do have.
What?
We do have a long ratcheting wrench, which is pretty fantastic for this because they're kind of tricky to get to, so I recommend if you guys ever get a set of wrenches to consider one of these long ones, get gear wrench. They got ratcheting ones, it's pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool?
Yeah.
Alright, let's go finish it.
Hey. Ow! Whoa, whoa!
Move. We're trying. Alright. We broke one so far. Whoops. We broke one. I plan on breaking most of them, but I actually got 2 out already. It is a good idea to spray them down with some penetrating oil. Before you do this, being that this was already hot when I started, that was probably a bad idea, but because if you spray penetrating oil on a hot car, an engine that's hot, it stinks. So I don't recommend doing that. Let it cool down, spray it, let it sit for a night. That's your best bet, but I'm impatient, so we started today.
It's over together. Get over.
Back up. Come here, Bradley.
What? Over together.
Okay, so I got it out, or off. I broke, I think, 3 bolts, but I'll show you underneath here where I got 2 of them, because you do have to get them from underneath. So here's where it comes down. Up here is where the heat shield is. On the left, let's see if I can get my hand up there without getting in the way. There's one that goes here, one that goes right above that. Those 2 you have to get from underneath. I couldn't see a way to get them from the top real easy, but wasn't too bad from under here. But now it's free, so we can get it off. Okay, so it's out. That is not easy to do, by the way. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see, 5, 6, and 7. So 7 total. It sits like this. Now, to get it to pry out of there.
Bye, Daddy.
Sit down. I did have to lift up on this just a hair right here to kind of get it to pop over. There's a bracket there and this here to get it out around there. But now the hard part, we're gonna take 1, 2, 3, what is it, 4 and 5, I think. Take all those loose, pop that out. O2 sensor, all that good stuff. Now I think I am going to go spray that O2 sensor. It's cooled down quite a bit. It gets a little bit of penetrating oil or something on that to help it break loose before I start wrenching on it. Huh? What are you doing? Alright. So, there's where the downpipe is going to end, right up to this catback. There you can see the O2 sensor. On the other side of it, let's see if we can see the end of the plug. Right there. We're going to unplug that so we can spin this without needing to go get a socket for it. Alright. Now, it's unplugged. Now it's unplugged, but right here, follow it down, there is a little tab right there. It's kind of hard to see, but there's a tab right there. You got to push that out, and then right here, right next to it, another one. We got to pop that one out as well. That way this can spin without twisting the wires too bad. That way we can get it back in. Then what we'll do is we'll take them out, take the whole pipe out, and take the sensor out while we got it out there. Oh boy. Oh boy. Rusty. Okay. Well, the good news is it looks like it's about to rain. So awesome. Okay. Whew. There's a major downside to being impatient, and that is one of them. Is in Ohio, weather is never your friend. Okay, so this weather's really starting to get pretty bad, so I'm gonna take this thing off the jack stands and wheel it in because I don't want to get caught halfway with the with me under it. Alright, so I have no idea where that last video cut out, and you may not notice it if I can edit it in, but it cut out at some point. So what I'm gonna do is, because I don't have enough memory left, is I'm going to take it out, and I'll kind of show you some couple pieces, parts as I go. I'll get it back in, we'll do an after sound take, and kind of refresher after it's all done. So unfortunately you're not going to see me doing anything, which most of the time you don't, but anything I find important, I'll turn it on, show you what I'm looking at, and go from there. Alright, bye. Okay, so one tricky bolt, I don't know if we can see it, but it's right down this inner side. You'll see it when you're under. There's a bracket that goes into the transmission. There's a bolt. What you got to do is get on it from the top side. And what I did, I'll kind of show you. I got this ratchet on it, and it was sitting up there. I couldn't get enough torque on it, so what I did is the bracket for the heat shield is right here. That'll sit on the back side, and you get this pry bar in behind it and kind of pry out, and that got it to crack loose. Now, you may be stronger than I am, or it may not be as seized, but that's how I had to do it. But you definitely have to get it from the top side to get it started at least. Like I said, one of these is probably going to be pretty crucial for what we're doing today. But if you're not somewhere where rust is a problem, it may not be too bad. But I definitely had a little bit of trouble getting it loose, but I was able to get it with that. So there's a little trick for you. All right, there it is, all out. Little factory downpipe. So the last thing I have to do with this is take the sensor out, switch it over, and put it all back together. There is a bracket that comes down. If you look at this, it comes out to this part just under the top of the downpipe. There was one bolt I missed. I did have to take that out. It broke, whatever. So that was the only thing caught me up. There is, you'll see that bolt down there in that bracket. That one's easy to get. The other one comes to here, and I think it was originally welded. Once I got that bolt loose and moved it, it actually just kind of snapped off. So no real issue there for me at least. I don't even think the other one uses it. But yeah, so now we'll just put it back in, transfer some pieces over, and start it up. See what it sounds like. Alright, there we go. So we got the new wide open bell mouth catless SRS. Here's our O2 sensor. I'll throw it in there in a second. Get some anti-seize on there too, and then 3-inch back. New gaskets. Stick it up in there. Should fit. I heard the fitment on these is a little rough, but not too terrible. I mean, you can definitely get a better downpipe, better welds, but it was like $160 or something for it, so realistically for the price, it's hard to beat. So I'm just gonna give it a shot. I'll let you know how it is. Let's put it in and see how it sounds. Alright, so I got it in. There it is. A little bit of clearance issue on a couple things. Nothing major. This line right here, this rubber hose, it goes down into that clamp. Actually, when I was looking this up on a forum, they did mention that. Luckily, it looks just like a drain. I think it's for, like they said, the AC, for like condensation. So what you can do is just tuck it up over here. You could probably get away with pushing most of it back in that hole. But I'm just going to leave it up there for right now until I think of something. May cut it off just so all that it does is just drip out there. But either way, you kind of get the concept of that. I don't have AC running anyway, so it's not really a problem. I can take it off completely. Underneath, it bolts up pretty straight, but again, this is an SRS. Oh geez, where are we? This is an SRS catback as well. The only problem I faced, the bolts didn't line up just right, so maybe a hanger or something can be get it bent so it just lines up a little bit better. And I may do that. You know, kind of just take it in somewhere, have them bend a hanger or something just to get it to twist just a little bit to line up a little smoother. I am going to have this back off here probably in a month or two. I do want to heat wrap it as well. Plus I want to try to fix those, get a couple of those broken screws for the heat shield, but I am going to get a different turbo for it, so it's going to be coming off in, you know, hopefully not too long from now. But for now, we're going to start it up, see what it sounds like. So let's try that. there we go. Definitely sounds a lot meaner. I want to say it's a little louder now. I don't want to say it sounds better. It didn't sound bad before. It gets a little bit of a pop to it. I am running on a stage 2 map now with that setup, just because it does use a turbo back. Hello. There we go. So I'll drive it around for a couple days. I'll leave kind of some notes in the description if I find anything weird with it.
Let's go.
But yeah, if you like the video, like it, subscribe if you want.